fact, shift our focus now and talk about the Indian cricket team. After a disappointing whitewash against New Zealand and a 1-3 loss to Australia, the BCCI, the Board of Cricket Control in India, has now introduced new guidelines for the Indian cricketers. In a recent review meeting, we are told that it has been decided that players' wives and family members will no longer be allowed to stay for the entire tours. For longer series, families can stay for only 14 days, while for shorter tours, the limit will be just for 7 days. This move aims to improve player performance, which the board believes has been impacted by family presence during tours. Additionally, all players, regardless of their stature, will now travel together on the team bus to ensure unity. Now, this rule also extends to head coach Gautam Gambhir's manager, who will be barred from staying at team hotels, watching matches from the VIP box, or using the team bus. These changes are part of the BCCI's effort to tighten the discipline and focus within the squad. Let me take this across to my colleague Payal Mehta. Payal, a move by the Board of Cricket Control for India to discipline all the players as far as Team India is concerned. After the dismal show, of course, in both these series, how are they taking it?
You know, Griha, these are disciplinary steps that the board has decided to take. If you remember, when there are big tournaments like the World Cup as well, you know, up to a certain point in time, the family members are not allowed. Family, wives and girlfriends are not allowed till the team reaches a certain stage. Because obviously the board does not want them to have any distractions whatsoever, or does not have to have them any additional burden whatsoever as well. Variable pay, depending on, you know, how a performance is really rewarded, also remains to be a very important factor that they looked into. And of course, you know, putting in restrictions on the coaches, manager, etc. These are basic steps that the board is taking, hoping that, you know, this is going to help the players concentrate more and not be worried about, you know, external factors, and probably contribute better towards the team as well. And a team building exercise, given the fact that, you know, the entire team will travel together in the team bus and not, you know, some players or, you know, some officials being given special privileges based on their hierarchy. That's actually a step that the board is reining in, because remember, you have Gautam Gambhir, who's been at loggerheads in terms of, you know, he's calling out certain players and their conduct.
Yes.
Of course, Rohit Sharma is an experienced candidate. Rohit Sharma also had to face a lot of flack, and there was a lot of rumors that is around that possibly he would step down from one form of cricket, but he's decided not to do so as well. So, in the best of interest of the sport, and remember, BCCI is the world's richest cricket body, and Indian team, you know, is one of the most look forward to team as well. You have a lot of tournaments coming up. You have Champions Trophy, etc. Multiple tournaments coming up, and obviously performance is going to hold the key as far as the BCCI is really concerned over here.
Right, Payal. Also, why the special noose tightening for Gautam Gambhir's manager? Why these special rules for him?
You know, essentially, when you are a part of the team, you are either part of the coaching staff or you're part of the team in terms of players and extras as well. But you know, why does somebody's manager need to get a special privilege? That probably the board has really realized that, you know, does Gautam Gambhir need his manager to manage the cricket affairs on ground? The answer certainly would be no. And probably that's the reason, you know, even Rohit Sharma tomorrow would want his own manager to travel with him on cricket tournaments and get privileges like traveling in the same team coach, probably, you know, wanting to stay in the same accommodation, getting access to watch matches.
Absolutely. Payal, what we are also doing is we are opening our phone lines for this entire update. This is a raging debate in the country. So we are asking all our viewers who are watching us that spouses stay, whether it is a distraction for our cricketers, what are their views about this latest directive from the BCCI? Call in. These are the numbers that we are flashing on your screens, and tell us what you feel about this latest move by the BCCI. In fact, we do have a caller at the moment. Sarvesh is joining us from Bengaluru. Sarvesh, what do you have to say about this new rule?
Yeah, see, basically this rule has no scientific foundation to say that, you know, they found something, you know, the presence of spouses will distract the players. So, I mean, this is harsh on the players, and a scientific study should be carried out to find out what is the reason for poor performance, rather than putting a blanket ban saying that spouses are a distraction. I mean, there should be some rationale behind it, right? I mean, just saying it will not suffice.
Right.
And there will be other distractions also, like players participating in too much advertising campaigns that might also be affecting the performance.
Okay, fair
The
point.
root cause should be found and then find a solution.
Right, Sarvesh, thank you so much for making that call to us. We also have Mr. TV Ramesh, who's joining us from Kochi. Mr. Ramesh, what do you have to say about this latest move by BCCI to curb on family time for the players?
Absolutely. I say that the players should have the freedom of taking their spouses to the matches. That will also give us some kind of relaxation for them. It cannot be a distraction because the family also will really, really encourage them to play better. And they should not, while playing, they should not think that they have a family at home. And, they should not stop these kind of things. This is utter nonsense. When India is playing down, then they will find all the rules and regulations. When then India is playing better, all the rules are relaxed. They should be matured enough, the board should be matured enough to take a decision and say that this should be allowed. They can't say that 14 days they can come, 4 days they can come. What is a school or what? They're running a school? They're all matured enough to handle these kind of situations. That is why they are in the game. And I strongly object to this kind of, unwanted decisions which is creating, maybe it's for the news, it is good, but absolutely players are very matured and they should have the freedom of taking their spouses and children to the places. This is what my this thing, and my name is not TV Ramesh, my name is PV Ramesh.
Mr. PV Ramesh, thank you so much for joining us and sharing in your views. Apologies for that one, but thank you so much for, taking the time out and calling us on CNN News 18. Let me also now bring in Mr. Deepak Pandit, who's a former cricketer himself. Mr. Pandit, what do you have to say about this latest decision? Considering if we talk about the Australia tour, where it was ridden with controversies, we'd seen the early retirement of Ravichandran Ashwin. He did not, in fact, want to take up that interim captaincy role. And we'd also seen how Rohit Sharma had bailed himself out from the final match. So while all of that was happening, while India was trying to wrap its head around what these developments are all about, we see this directive by the BCCI.
See, I personally feel because as far as family staying with the... Hello?
Yes, Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. Pandit, do go ahead, please.
Yeah. See, I personally feel as far as family staying with the player, it is absolutely their personal choice because, in fact, if she's wife is staying with the player, in fact, she can be a support to him, and she can take care of him. And as far as his cricket is concerned, and that is absolutely because if he's in good form, he will definitely play. As for cricket and families are two different things, so they should not combine. Because I personally feel if she is with the player, she'll be definitely supporting for him, and in fact she can encourage him because emotionally, definitely it is better. As far as performance and all these things are concerned, if he is not performing, you keep him out. Very simple. India is such a huge talent. So why don't you keep changing players? Who is performing? If he is performing, there should not be fixed. Like first 6, 7 players. Normally there is 6, 7 players are permanent, whether they are performing or they are not performing. And those days are gone now.
Right, absolutely.
So
and Mr. Pandit, I'd also like you to weigh in on this latest news report that also came when Virat Kohli and Jasprit Bumrah, that we know have been travelling separately, not along with the rest of the team members because they were travelling with their own young families. And I believe in Perth, they were not part of the celebrations of the victory of Team India, and that garnered some amount of controversy. Do you think all of these decisions that are now coming about are linked?
Pardon, I could not hear you.
I just wanted to understand, there's also been a directive on how all the players are going to travel together on the team bus, and that will bring about some amount of unity. How much do you think is this going to have an impact, and is this even making sense?
Togetherness is always better. But the thing is, understand that's there is something very urgent that is this year that is there to take a call. If it is really necessary, I can understand. Otherwise, togetherness is always better. And then, and then something, yeah, he is senioring, he can come later. The junior, if he